Well, good. Let me start by saying the goal coming into tonight was to be 1-0. That was the goal, and I've said this before, 50% of the country would change records with us right now. You know, I mean, but to come in here and find a way to get a win, really proud of the team, proud of the way that they've worked, proud of everything that we've been through. And I thought they went out there and there were a lot of positive things out there on the field tonight. I give Russ Huseman and UTC just a load of credit. I think they have got a very well coached football team. They're disciplined, they play hard, they don't turn the ball over, they don't beat themselves. I thought they really played hard tonight. So I give them an awful lot of credit, and I was really pleased with the overall effort of our team. We came in and we said that special teams has got to make a difference this year. I talked extensively about that in our press conference on Monday, and really proud of the way special teams showed up today. Punt return, I thought really made some great things happen. I thought the way both punters punted the ball was excellent. I thought the way Marvin Kloss kicked the ball off was excellent. I have the honor and the privilege of coaching the all-time leading scorer in South Florida history, Mike Bonani. Right now his kickoffs are a little bit in question, but there's no doubt on his field goal kicking. So I thought special teams and so many guys really stepped up, and that was the biggest thing that I was pleased with tonight. The other thing, second kind of in order, would be the defense. I thought the defensive front seven played extremely well. I thought they played hard, they played physical, they controlled the line of scrimmage. They played a large part of this night in UTC's backfield, and I think that was the difference of the game. Offensively, some flashes of some really good things and some of the playmakers that we've talked about, but at the same time it was sloppy. We had way too many lost yardage plays. I think we ended up with a number of turnovers in this game. Unfortunately, it cost our defense 10 points in the statistical column, but I didn't think overall offensively it was one of our better efforts. There seemed to be a lot of confusion, guys running on and off the field offensively. We've got to get some things polished up. I know next week we play a very talented Nevada team that went to Cal and had a great win on the road. I'm sure they'll be playing with a lot of energy. We're going to have a much better effort than the one we put out there tonight if we expect to fly across the country and come home with a win. But mostly I'm just proud of this team and told them goals to go 1-0. So I'm certainly not going to take it for granted, but there are some things that right now I'm certainly not pleased with. Our discipline, just kind of our organization, and just the consistency on the offensive side of the ball. But fortunately, we found a way to win today, and we can get better. So what questions can I answer for anybody? You know, same thing. We talked about that consistently. Sometimes flashes of brilliance. You know what I mean? I thought the pass he made to Terrence Mitchell, he had two guys in his face. The right tackle got beat, the fullback got beat. They ran an inside move. He had turned around, came off the read, found it in a hurry, laid it up with two guys in his face, and made a great throw. I thought he threw the ball relatively accurately. I don't know exactly what his numbers were, 17 for 26. I thought he was fairly accurate standing on the sideline. Unfortunately, the one interception was a poor read, and then I thought there was one play that he could have thrown away when he scrambled rather than take a lost yardage play. A couple, you know, you look at him, he played, what, 50 plays tonight? 3 plays I'd love to have back. You know, 3 plays I'd love to have back, but I think he's still continuing to grow. But there are a lot of good things out there. There's just some things that we've got to continue to improve on.
Can you talk about having Terrence Mitchell back, both for the punt return game and on offense?
Well, it makes a huge difference. Here, the guy, he had a couple big punt returns tonight, and as shifty as he is, and he's catching the ball. I mean, they even started just punting the ball away from him. But then, as a wide receiver, to be able to get the ball in his hands, I think he's got a chance to be an impact player, which is one of the reasons that he's up there as the starting Z. We've got some receivers that are playing very well. I think Sterling and Andre have had a great camp. Damari Montgomery got his feet wet today. Dunkley played his first college game tonight. You know, got some of the jitters off. But I think there's a lot of guys out there that are playing really well. But I think he is really doing some good things for us, and he's an explosive player. And we're going to have to utilize him as we go through the season as an offensive weapon.
Skip, I think you knew you'd be kind of young on offensive line, maybe a little younger with the injuries. How did you think the line held up, given the youth overall?
I thought we were okay. There were way too many breakdowns to say that BJ played 50 plays and had 3 minuses. I think up front as a group we had many more than that. I don't think we were near as consistent up front as we need to be. You know, having Darrell Williams did not play, came out here, we were hoping the 2.5 days. He practiced on Thursday, a little bit hobbled, Thursday, a little bit hobbled, but we figured 2.5 days of treatment, he ought to be good to go Saturday. Came out here tonight, just didn't feel good about it. So, you know, not being able to play him, I did not play Lawrence Martin and did not play Bradley Battles on purpose. There were a couple things that they were supposed to get done this week and they didn't get them done, and I found that out this morning, and so I didn't put them in the game tonight. But everything from here will go forward, and they'll be out there Monday practicing hard. So even though we were playing with 8 up front, you know, where we've talked about playing 10 and been rolling 2 deep, I did not think it was one of our better efforts as an offensive line.
Can you talk about the rushing game tonight?
Okay, not what I expected it to be. You know, there were some good individual efforts, but overall, again, I keep talking about that word consistency. I thought there were some times the backs really lowered their shoulders and ran north and south. I thought there were some times that we stopped and we're dancing and, you know, we're trying to find the 40-yard run instead of just trying the consistency in the 4-yard run. I think we've got to run the ball a little bit more physical than we did, and I think we've got to do a better job in front on the offensive line. But I don't think it was where we need it to be.
A few more for Coach, guys. We got a lot of players in the backfield.
Skip, we didn't see Lamar tonight. Is he another one that could be headed to a redshirt possibly?
You know, I met with Lindsey Lamar about a week ago, and just having 4 running backs right now with Lindsey not in the mix, and having Willie Davis and Bradley Battles and Marcus Shaw and Demetrius Murray and the camp that those guys have had, I think Lindsey is a weapon. He's fast. He can run. A little bit rusty right now, you know, at running back. He hadn't played there in 2 years. Putting him back there, I don't think he's ready to be an every down back there yet. I think he could truly benefit from a redshirt year. I sat down and met with him. Asked him what he would rather do, have the opportunity to put on more weight, feel more comfortable at running back, come back for another year. He would rather do that, which I totally I respect. And right now I just don't feel like I can give him the reps with only 1 football and some of the weapons that we have. I also have talked to him about it's something that we're going to try to do. But an injury or 2 and that red shirt's coming off and he's got to go. And he understands that, and we're going to do everything we can to try and do it. But the first is going to be we've got an obligation to do what's in the best interest of the team, but we also have an obligation to do what's in the best interest of the young man.
He's good to go with that. He's his favorite of that.
That was his choice.
Yeah.
That was his choice and mine. I mean, now when I went and approached him with it, that's what I wanted to do with them, because I really don't want to burn the year just to burn it. Went to him and asked him, and I think he's more comfortable with that. He realizes that he can get better, understanding the blocking scheme and how he fits and everything else. And he's a little rusty there, but no, he's got an unbelievable attitude. He goes out to practice every day. Like I said, he's gonna practice with us. He's gonna practice to get ready to play, because he's an injury away from saying, let's go, we're on the field.
Coach, you said tonight,
Last one.
your goal is to go 1-0. What
Yeah.
would you say is your ultimate goal for this season and for this team?
Next week is to go 1-0. That's it. I mean, we want to go 1-0, and at the end of the year, let's find out how good we can be. We've set lofty standards and goals, and I don't think we've hid from or ran away from the fact that we want to win a conference championship. That's one of the goals that we have in the program. You don't win it by talking about it. You don't win it by thinking 12 games. The best thing about the future, it comes to you one day at a time. And we just got to find a way to win. Every day, we got 90 days. We got 90 days to go 1-0, and let's take it one game at a time. And I think with the maturity and the leadership of this team, that's where our focus has been. And after 12 games, I said all the time, I don't know how good we can be. Let's just make sure at the end of all this, we're as good as we can be. And I love the leadership, love the attitude of this football team, love the way they're working. Just a lot of things we got to get cleaned up as a staff at this point. But like I said, I'm grateful to be 1-0. Appreciative for the way these players work and the attitude they have. And it's great to be in Tampa. I got in the car this morning and drove to the office, and it seemed like it's game day. The sky was a little bluer, the clouds were a little puffier. I mean, everything just seemed a little bit clearer. Drove through downtown Tampa and said, you know what, I love this city. I mean, you know what? It's just great to be back into the season and have the opportunity to get out there and play. Thank everybody for being here. I
Thanks, guys.
appreciate it.